Hey guys, Bottom25 here playing FSX once again. Today, we'll be flying an Aer Lingus A330 from Dublin International Airport to Los Angeles International Airport, or LAX. So, shift. Oh wait, no, I pressed the wrong button. Shift. Oh, did I accident? Yep. Shift E2, Shift P2. There we go. And I'll disable the parking brake so the aircraft can in fact reverse. So this is an actual aircraft operated by Aer Lingus, and I think this is an actual route. Airbus A330 Mela. That's its name, I'm going to guess. Irish people are kind of have some weird naming systems, I'll tell you that. Also, I think I should just say the gate I arrived... Wait, hold on. I know this isn't accurate, but yeah, the gate I arrived at was there. The gate I took off from to Gatwick was on the other side of that building, and the gate I arrived at is there. So the thing in real life is not circular. Move out of the way, you pitchfork thing, bastard. Flap set to 2 because they usually set it at this point. And stop the pushback. And off we trot. What we're going to do is we're going to take off on... Hold on, actually, what runway is in use, actually? Visibility greater than 20 miles. Sky condition fuel class at 2019. Dew point 16 on 23 at 2 miles. And depart. And why is it pulling that way? Watch. Oh, there we go. Runway 28. Seriously, why is it doing that? Like, do we have all engines? Yeah, we've got power on all engines. So we'll be taking off runway 28, which I'm true Dublin clearance, but don't actually. Right, we're not taking off on that. 28, yeah, okay, we're taking off on a fairly long runway. The one that should enable this aircraft to take off. Also, one of our friends was a stewardess for Aer Lingus. This was a couple of years ago, and while they were flying to America, they would kind of go over kind of Greenland and Iceland, a place where there would be icebergs. And somebody asked her, "Excuse me, do you use those green lights on those icebergs for navigation?" I'm not sure what she responded, but I mean, come on, like, I'm not sure, like, were those ships down there, or were they green icebergs that the sun was glinting off? But really, like, seriously.
Approaching 3-4.
I will actually just check to make sure. Right, we will wait. We will wait for that 737 to land and hope that he doesn't clip our wing. Hurry up, man. Oh yeah, I should probably set the autopilot now. Altitude 35,000. La di da di da di da di da. Let's just look out there. See it's speed 330. Because this is a larger aircraft. Now we'll go for 320. Vertical speed 3000. Altitude hold. No. There he is. Jeez, I ducked there. Speed hold I can't do. Switch over to GPS. Master caution, shut up. I said shut up. And off we go. We're going to just get it aligned with the runway. We're not actually going to take off yet as the 737 is still on the runway. That would actually probably be a Ryanair aircraft, in all honesty. Also, fun fact, there are still narrow-bodied aircraft crossing the Atlantic. 757s.
Approaching 28.
Yeah, I know I'm approaching runway 28. I want to be approaching runway 28. Okay, man. Get off the runway.
On runway 28.
Come on. And brakes. I'm going to wait for that guy to leave because, you know, we don't want to kill him. And if I turn back and see another aircraft. No? Good. Alright, brakes, gun at the engines. Let's keep an eye on them, see when they're at full power. Full power. Yeah, once they're at full power. Boom. Right, release. Off we pop. It is interesting to see how slowly they start off. And then how when they build up speed. Currently we are at 100 knots. I will turn a bit here. Yeah, this one doesn't have the... This one doesn't show if you've hit V1. Yep. And we are up. Just barely. Positive rates, gear up, flaps up. And we'll just fly this manually for a bit, just to... As long as we're not descending, we'll be fine. Oh, I'm pressing A instead of S. LAX. That's why I am flying this, because we're flying to LAX. I think we are sidestepping a bit, actually. Yeah, we're definitely sidestepping. So those of you who don't know what sidestepping is, it's when the aircraft is, like, say, heading, like, the nose is pointed that way, and the aircraft's kind of going like that. You see Croke Park there. Some mountains. And... okay, guys, I'll pause this video here, and I'll see you guys at LAX. Right, I will actually just lower my rate of acceleration before we bloody stall, because I've got time. So see you guys then. Okay, guys, I just now noticed, you see that base there? That's Area 51. We would probably be shot. We'd probably be shot down at this stage. Yeah, we're flying directly over Area 51. Isn't that fun? Oh, there's Vegas. Okay, I just wanted to show that we did fly over Area 51 there. But yeah, see you guys once we get closer to... I almost said Vegas. Los Angeles. Okay, guys, we just began our descent into LAX. I thought I started the video, but it seems I didn't. Yeah, Area 51's back there. I believe that's Edwards AFB here. We're descending to 26,000 feet. So surely I will retract those spoilers. Shortly, I mean now. And Aer Lingus will be replacing these aircraft. These A3... God. These A330s with A350s. So 235. Heading to... and descent at 20,000 feet. Now, so this aircraft does operate this route, Dublin to LAX. That's another 3,000 feet per minute. You can go away. Let's put this to half. There we go. And sim rate 4 times. So we're flying directly over Edwards. I think Edwards is not that secretive. Area 51 is a secretive one. So that's where we took off on the executive tour. Actually, I'm going to see what aircraft are here. Yeah, there's a shuttle carrier aircraft. And we're leveling off, so that means I retract those. Now, options sim rate normal. I do want to see what aircraft are in this. Anyways, there's an Osprey there. There definitely seems to be an aircraft there. Yeah, B-52. And somewhere in between there's an SR-71. I don't see that. Was the SR-71? No. Well, there's another B-52 there at North Base. Wait, option simulation rate 4 times. So, we're just flying directly over Edwards. Which is, of course, a military base. Right, pause. Oh god, we're going straight to 8,000. Acknowledge. Right, so descend to 8,000. And acknowledge the handoff. Let's just focus on maintaining a good rate of descent. You know, basically not over speeding on descent. There we go. Tune LA Center. Contact LA Center. So where is it? There's a massive airport there. At least I think that's an airport. Here's our K. Yeah, that's Edwards. There's stars Edwards. Yep, there's a C-17, I believe that is. I'm presuming, you know, they're presuming that some aircraft are kind of allowed to fly overhead if they're previously cleared to fly overhead. So they what I'm saying is basically they get a time to be like, okay, there will be an Aer Lingus A330 flying overhead at da 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 da, you know, at XY time. KWJF. Contact Joshua approach. Not sure why not. Hold on, option sim rate normal. Right, what is our altitude? Because then I can. Okay, we're not quite down that far, but what's nose? I don't know. I'm just turning that off. We won't. Oh yeah, seatbelts on at this point. Hey, I actually remember to turn on seatbelts. The seatbelt sign. We're not Ryanair. We're not charging for seat belts. So that's not a real thing Ryanair do. They say that to make fun of them because no one likes Ryanair. Also, I got a model of an A350 in Farnborough. Okay, hold on. Wait, pause. Dub. Options sim rate. I picked literally the worst time to do that. Now, heading 200. This A350. It cost £30, so it was fairly cheap for, it's a pretty decent model, landing gear, and you can, there are also parts that you can swap out, so it's like it's in a gear up, so it's like it's flying. It also comes with a metal stand. If I can just get it attached. Okay, now the only problem I've had it with so far is the top of the stand came off inside the aircraft, but that was easily remedied with a bit of epoxy. Sim rate 4 times. Yeah, so this is just so Air Lingus will be replacing these with these, the one model I have. I think some of them have already arrived in Dublin or Shannon or somewhere. Originally, I was while we were in Farnborough, I was looking for an old Boeing model, but when it cost $25 or £25 for a model that size, we were like, yeah, I'd rather pay £30 for the bigger one. There's a Shamrock logo on its side. Jesus, hold on. Options, sim rate, normal. Air traffic. There's this aircraft, this aircraft, this aircraft, this, not loading aircraft, this. Oh my. Oh, this guy's taking off. Let's watch this. This is actually at LAX, so this is where we will be landing. However, I don't know where this guy will be, where this A321 will be flying. Because, Orbit Airlines is a fictional airline. So why is there kind of that much of a gap between, the start of the intake and the blades, the turbine? Oh, this guy is off. Okay then. Was that's not talking to us? Okay. Oh, there's dash 8. Contact point Mugu approach. Right. To contact them. Okay. Options. Normal. Turn left heading 1. That's speed. Heading 190. I'm assuming that's kind of to navigate us around mountains, because mountains are bad for this type of aircraft. Well, yeah, report traffic. Oh, pause. Jeez. Oh, that was complicated. Acknowledge instructions. Report traffic in sight. There's a 3,900. That's around 4,000 feet, or 4,100 to be precise. Up. Acknowledge instruction. Heading 160. Hold on. Yeah, there's a HUD that didn't actually function. That central HUD. Or it could just be a sun shield, I don't know. No, I think that HUDs are kind of like at that level. At least on the A350, I'm not sure about this. Well, I don't think A330s actually have HUDs. I can't actually see anything. Right, we're over a city, so I'm presuming that... I'm going to say I'm presuming that's LA. That's the nearest airport. I acknowledge the handoff. What's our altitude? Well, I need change frequency. Another 1,000 feet of descending, so 20 seconds left of descending. Okay. I will just open the map view so I can... Alright, so we're going to approach from the sea by the looks of it. Which will hopefully this weather doesn't continue over the sea. A good thing I reset that there, because I'm now playing on the most realistic setting, so everything is realistic. So basically, if I come in too fast, I crash. That's it. But anyways, right, how are we doing? Everything is... Yep, everything nominal. Sim rate 4. Right, well, I'll go pause. Okay, this is going to be difficult. Right, turn left, heading 100. No, it's 6100. So to maintain 1800 or 1800, depending on where you are from. To establish the localizer, contact LA tower on blah blah blah. Let's just pop that and tune LA tower, contact inbound IS runway 6 left is our runway. Alright, so we're also 23 miles, so speed back to 175. Yep, 175. How are we doing? Much pattern entry. And boom boom. Right, so the weather is slightly better down here. Right, slightly better. So how exactly? Right, so we are. So that's the runway we're aiming for. Right, so currently we'll just keep flying the way we were. 260. That's our airspeed at the moment. See, occasionally we are getting these trails off the wing. Don't know why that is. We're going to start extending the flaps. So flaps 1. Flaps 2. Might turn off the master warning and don't know why it's on. I think we can land with flaps at 2. Okay, maybe flaps 3 just to be safe. KSMO. I'm presuming that's a little regional airport. I hope you're just spooling up, man. Yeah, we can land with flaps set to 3. There's KSMO. Turn heading to say 80. It's a turn of 20 degrees, so. And then we'll see if that's it. You can start seeing the coast, but I don't have visual of the... Is that the airport there? Open up the map view. It definitely needs further turning. Wait, is that it? Is that LAX? Yes, it is. That's going to that KLAX. Yeah, that's the thing that I can't exactly see. Yep, that's KLAX. Right, request airport direction. Because I can't see the bloody airport. Wait. Alright, there it is. Clock 10 more. Oh wait, that means gear down. I'm gonna pilot up. So 6 left. Our heading will be pretty much 60, so. Presuming it's the leftmost runway. I can see how much the gear is, how would you say it, kind of angled. We're not passing through some low-level fog. So now we're going to turn slightly. Yeah, visibility is not the greatest. Well, that's when we were feeling it. And we just ascended through the... Okay, descend. Right, we're cleared. Okay, that's not the best part. Yeah, I think we might actually have a bit of a crosswind because, you know, this is the most realistic setting, so... Yeah, you can start off now. Okay, I'm a bit too high. Descend. I'll pop those to speed up our descent a bit. There we go. Pull those in. Pitch up. This is the most realistic aerodynamics model. You know, everything is set to realistic, not easy. Hold on, let me get aligned so I can.
Approaching 06 left.
There we go. So that's what we're That's what we're supposed to be landing on as well. I think so far I've only landed on the wrong runway once, and that was the flight from Dublin to London City with the Learjet. So with the smallest bit of throttle, because also trim up, trim down slightly. There we go. Thing is, I have no idea what altitude I'm at. Right, we're a bit too low there, so. Flare. Pitching up so I can put the nose down gently. And we are down. Now activate the brakes. No ABS on this aircraft either. If you're wondering, the reason I I completely forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, acknowledge the ground handoff. Tune LA ground. That was quite request taxi. So now we got request taxi to gate. So have a gate 1055 taxiway Y. Yankee Echo Sierra Bravo Charlie 10. Acknowledge. Don't have any aircraft on approach, do we? Okay.
Approaching
You know, maybe
2,
unrealistic.
4, left.
Yeah, I was like, maybe in realistic they don't have the labels, but I was like, wait, earlier I saw a label, so. Yeah, you can see the terminal there, the UFO-shaped building, and then the tower. There's a world travel aircraft there. Fire truck, you better not drive in front of us. It's our bloody plane. Please, okay. Like, don't turn in front of us, for the love of God. There we are, off we pop. There's a 7. I think that's probably a 747 there. Just judging by the size of the tail fin, compared to the WT, which is world travel, by the way. Nope. Yep, it's definitely a 747. You can judge. That's a Pacifica 747. This is a smaller Pacifica aircraft. From there. I should turn on taxi lights. Sorry. Why don't I turn off? Keep taxiing. It's a very high speed.
On taxiway, on taxiway.
Then reverse. I can see through the reversers. No, well, I can see through both ways, okay. Right. There's an A320 at Pacifica. Right, he should be on a different taxiway the whole time, so he shouldn't interfere with us.
Approaching 07 left. Approaching 07 left. Approaching 07 left.
There you go. Yeah, there's another 747 there. That's a different 747. Or they just glitch out and replace the Pacifica with an unmarked 747. I'm like, beep 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 beep. Small Airbus, big Airbus. But it looks like they're going to tell him to stop, not me, because. Okay, now. Oh no. We collided. Whoops. But you could have done that earlier. Anyways, you know, that's his fault, not mine. Wait. Yeah, I'm going to end this video here. That was a flight from Dublin to LAX. I'm watching. Wait. It's loading train. So this, is it reloading to where I am, or will it just plop us back in Dublin? Let's just wait and see, because if it's. No, we're back in Dublin. Okay, well, anyway, see you again. Well, that was a flight from Dublin to LAX. I'm about 25. Goodbye.